All right, Deanie, going to be traveling to Gainesville for a grudge match against Georgia Tech. How do you feel about your matchup?
Truth to be told, the whole team, including myself, we're very excited. Of course, we didn't had the best of the seasons till when I was here, since I started here. But a revenge is always beautiful, and we're really excited. We're not really going to be focusing on winning rather than trying to do the best and trying to ensure we don't make the same mistakes of what we did previously, and just enjoying every single moment.
Your team has had to go through some adversity in terms of injuries through the last month or so, but now that you they've had some time to heal, do you think this team will be up in 100%?
100%, definitely. If I can trust anyone, that's my team. No team can be stronger until they face adversity or like multiple injuries. We did had a lot, but what I can say proudly of my girls is that they never give up. They will stay there, they will come stronger, and I know each of them have worked really hard getting over that injury, and I'm so excited to see them play.
How proud of you to be able to get to this moment, because you had to get above 500 during the American Athletic Conference Championship. So talk about what it's like to be able to work yourself into this moment at all.
Like getting to 50-50?
Yeah.
I always knew we would do it, so truth to be told, I was not really nervous about it because I believe in my coaches a lot, this program. I love this program and my team, so I was never really nervous. I just knew it was going to happen, but I had to make sure our team understood that it's going to be one match at a time, 1 point at a time, not thinking of more of futuristic goal, but more stay in reality, focus right now, and then we'll think about it later. It was a lot of work, but we made it.
You're going now into your senior season. What NCAA Tournament? So what's the difference between the Nandini Sharma that first came to UCF versus the one we see now?
A lot of differences, a lot. The girl that came 5 years ago was a immature girl, didn't know what she was doing, just laughing around, enjoying life. I still do the same, but now I know that because of my coaches, I know I can go through anything and I'll still show up to practice. I'll still show up to play my matches. I am the strongest I've ever been, not just physically, but mentally as well. If it wasn't for them, especially for this program, the people that I'm around, UCF, I would just be some girl from India. But now I know that I'm Nandini Sharma, and it's all because of UCF and my coaches.
You got a couple of honors at the Swords Awards a little while ago. How'd it feel to be honored in front of your fellow student athletes?
I didn't expect that, to be honest. I was just looking at the screen. I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay, I get that one. But it was a very happy moment. I was surprised, but most importantly, it pushed me to do better. I called my coaches right away, truth to be told, after I was done with the ceremony, and I asked them what they felt. They told me that I did deserve it, so I think that makes me really feel better. Like, I knew I've worked hard a lot, but just hearing from my mentors was just another aspect of it, and it just pushed me to be better, to do much more than that.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Because now it's basically you win and your college career keeps going. This is like last round. So what sort of legacy do you want to leave behind? What do you want to make sure you're able to do in your final collegiate matches?
When I leave, honestly, I want people to remember me as someone that always fought, no matter what the circumstances was, what was happening around her. They knew they could count on me to show up, be the best I could be. But I also want people here in UCF to remember that she'll come back and she will try to help the UCF and the players around her as much as she can, and also that her teammates can still count on her. If someone wants something at 2 in the morning or 5 in the afternoon, they can always count her, call her, and be like, hey, I need you to come pick me up. So just the help aspect, be able to lead and help other people.
What do you think this team needs to do in order to make it as far as possible in this tournament?
Believe in themselves. You cannot do anything until you have the belief that you deserve it, that you can do it. You can be as talented as you want, you can be a genius, but the minute you doubt yourself, you're not going to win anything. So the most important for them is to just be happy, enjoy it, and believe in themselves.
So why do you think this team deserves to make it really far?
Why?
Yes.
Because the adversity they have faced, they all deserve it. We have had so many people injured, as we all know, but the fact that all of them stood next to each other, held their hands and said, we will win this, we got this, every single match, that speaks for itself. Because I knew if it was some other team, they would have given up a long time ago. All right, let's be done with it. It's a shitty season and all that stuff. I'm sorry I cursed, but they didn't give up. My team didn't, and that's what I'm proud of them for.
Oh, best of luck. Oh.
You mentioned earlier how you didn't want to repeat the same mistakes. What are you and your team doing moving forward to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes that you guys did in the past?
We are very focused on that. So let's say, I'll give an example, better to explain it, so let's say that in our match that day with Georgia Tech, if someone was playing, let's say I was playing, and I felt my forehand was really bad, right? I couldn't finish the ball properly and things like that. So we have been taking extra lessons just to work on that thing. You know, focusing more on, okay, so the opponent's weakness was backhand. I didn't hit enough backhands. So I'm going to go more on the backhand side. And then we have our matches recorded. So going through that match, point by point, understanding where we went wrong, because nothing is better than a visual representation of what was actually happening in your match. And then sitting down with your coach and discussing with it. So I know that I did it, and some of my other teammates as well did it. Like, we just went to the coaches and said, okay, what happened? Why are we playing this way and such forth? And we have a sit down, we talk through it. Okay, you're doing this and this. All right. And then we go back home, we watch our matches, doubles and singles both, and as far as we can go. And then finally, okay, I know what I'm doing wrong. We implement that, like what we need to do to improve in our practice. And then after that, hey, can you feed me like for 20-30 minutes more? And once we are done, after that, yeah. And if you don't feel still not satisfied, because believe it or not, my teammates are never satisfied. We're working hard, so they'll go again in the afternoon. I know a lot of them, they don't say it, but they still do it. I know it. And they'll still practice more just to improve, to run an extra minute, to do something extra for sure.
Best of luck, Denise.